Hey guys, what's up? We are back here with another video today, and today we are doing a Tampa Bay Bucs mock draft, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Only about 10% of you guys are subscribed, so make sure you hit that subscribe button as we march our way towards 1,000 subscribers. We only 71 away as I record this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Like this video if you enjoy it. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below as well. Let me know whether you like the picks, dislike the picks, or anything in between. There are no trades in this draft, so just so you know that I present that in front. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out the website where I will be posting more content there, as well as the podcast links are below. So let's get started with today's video. So with the number 19 overall pick, I have the Tampa Bay Bucs selecting Anthony Richardson, the quarterback out of Florida. Let me preface it with this. Richardson is probably not going to fall for 19, but I also do want to say this. I did select him, even though it's probably very unrealistic, because of this very reason. If you think about it this way, Justin Fields, the Bears quarterback, fell all the way to number 11. Nobody thought he was going to get out of the top 5, top 6, but he fell all the way to number 11. It is not impossible for an Anthony Richardson to fall. Maybe to 19 it's a little bit unlikely because you could have the Bears trade back again, or the Titans, or you could have somebody trade back in the later round or in those picks that don't need a quarterback. And they could take the quarterback. But I do think that for this sake, he was available. So I decided to take Anthony Richardson because Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert are not the answers. I think that most Bucs fans know that they're not the answers. So I think that Richardson obviously was the best player available at the pick. And the other good thing is that you don't have to rush him into a bad situation. The Bucs don't have the greatest roster in the world, but they also don't have one of the worst rosters in the world. They still have a good offensive line, led by Wirfs and stuff like that. So you still have decent pieces. I think also with Richardson, he has probably the most potential out of anybody in this class. Maybe you could argue CJ Stroud has more potential, but Richardson has also shown the least out of anybody in this draft class. Again, you could maybe argue Levis has shown less, but I think Richardson, only 1 year of starting, just not a lot of tape there, but Richardson is definitely a very boom or bust prospect. So heading on to the next pick, at number 50, I have the Tampa Bay Bucs selecting edge rusher Will McDonald IV out of Iowa State. So the reason why I drafted Will McDonald is with the Bucs playing a 3-4 defense, the thing that I like about McDonald is he can either play your 3 technique and replace Akeem Hicks, or he can play outside and replace a guy like Levante David who could be gone after this season or next and stuff like that. I think that that is important to look at, is that you definitely could be able to get a guy that can play multiple positions. McDonald is 6'5", 250, 260 pounds, really strong guy, a very productive player, kind of the opposite of Richardson. McDonald had a lot of success in college, and I think that he still is a little bit raw, but he had a lot of success and he had a lot of production. And as a fan, that's what I like more, is having that success in production in college rather than having to project players and stuff like that. I think that that is a little bit more important. So make sure whenever you're drafting, that you're drafting for versatility, and I think Will McDonald does fit both of those roles, I should say. At number 82 overall, I have the Bucs selecting Kai Blue Kelly, the cornerback out of Stanford. This should add to already strong secondary that drafted guys last year like Zion McCollum, that has Sean Murphy Bunting, I should say. And those are just the backups, not to mention Jamal Dean, Antoine Winfield, Mike Edwards, and Carlton Davis. I think that that's important to look at in that grand scheme of things. But I think that Kai Blue Kelly was the best player available. I have him rated as a high third-round pick to a low second-round pick, and I think that that has good overall value for him. Had a great Senior Bowl, really played well, and showed versatility at that position. Both can play nickel and can play outside. I think is a good overall player. Speaking of the secondary, at number 155, I took Jair Brown, the safety out of Penn State. Really, there wasn't any other players available that fit any other positions of needs, and that was the only thing that was a little bit disappointing, was that there wasn't anybody too great. But I do think that this does help in filling out a need, which is safety help. I think you guys have good starting safeties, but the backups, they need a little bit of additional help, so I decided to select Jair Brown, who can definitely play that role and play it pretty well. Well, talking about a really that's the next pick. 75, I have the Tampa Bay Bucs selecting Deuce Vaughn, the running back out of Kansas State. Deuce Vaughn's really short. He's really, really short. I'm 5'10", and I am 5 inches taller than him. And yeah, Deuce Vaughn. But the thing is that his lower body, his thighs, his contact balance, he has great lower body strength. His contact balance is fantastic. And even though he's really small, I do think that a running back is a position of need, and I really personally like him. Him and Tajay Spears are my two favorite running backs in this draft class that aren't named Bijan Robinson, or Jahmyr Gibbs, I should say. Out of those two, I think the running back room is kind of wide open, and I think that you're getting one of the top 5 best running backs in this class personally, because if you just got rid of his height as a factor that you're looking at a second, third round player here. So that's my opinion on Deuce Vaughn. The opposite of Deuce Vaughn is at number 81, Owen Papoa, the linebacker out of Auburn. Really raw prospect. Has a little bit of a struggle in being able to recognize plays and being able to develop certain positions and where he needs to. He needs to work on his technique, needs to work on getting off linemen whenever he has that. But I think that the Bucs, their linebacking core of Devin White and Levante David and Shaq Barrett, I think that the biggest thing about that is you have some good teachers there. You can have somebody where he can learn behind some great players, and maybe he can turn into something. And plus, it's a later round pick, so I think that that's what you're looking for, is that type of value. At number 232, I have the Bucs selecting Yaya Davie, the edge rusher out of Louisville. I think that Davie is a good selection here. Just adds depth to the defensive line. And I will also say at 253, I have the Bucs selecting PJ Mustipher, the defensive lineman. More defensive tackle, though. So going to play more the 3 technique and probably not nose tackle because he's really not big enough. He's only about 270, 280 pounds. So probably going to be a 3 technique. But both between between him and Davie, I think that you do have 2 players that can really add depth and that could make the roster. And I think that that's kind of what you're looking for in that later type of rounds, is just depth. And I think that that will be able to help as you continue on that path. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Hit the 2 videos down below. One will be a video that YouTube suggests, and another will be the playlist. And hit the subscribe button up here as we reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Let's go, guys. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.